Hey Jade, thank you so much. I appreciate that. How are you doing today? That's good. Anything fun and exciting planned for this weekend or for the let's see, I think we got St. Patty's Day coming up. I don't know if that was this weekend or not. I feel like it was something this weekend. Or maybe you have something planned for today. Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. So you're a teacher then. My day's been good. First thing in the morning was a meeting, which I woke up really late for, so I was really tired for that. Uh, I didn't intend to wake up that late. I hit my alarm and went back to sleep, apparently. I only remember my alarm going off. So, it. I am not a morning person, I am a night owl, and I need. Sometimes I just need a little help getting up. Because urgency things don't always click in my brain right away. And it didn't always used to be that way, but I also have other things going on that sometimes I just forget. Oh, okay, cool. How's school going then for that? Oh, nice, yeah. How is school going to be a going so far to becoming a teacher? Like, are you enjoying it? Is it everything you thought it would be? Um, are you ready for it to be over and just start teaching? Yeah, I like teaching, so um, I got to do a little bit here and there, kind of differently. I work with autism kids in my other job, so my type of teaching is a little bit different now, but I enjoy teaching when I get a chance to. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's gonna have its good and bad days, like everything. Um, but it's always so much fun to like I don't know. There's just those days that makes it all worth it when you work with kids. So it's I think it's a blast. And with my job, I get to play a lot of the nostalgic kid things, the things I enjoyed as a kid. I get to pass on. So, and luckily, Pokemon is still a thing among a lot of kids. So I get to play that a lot too, which is pretty awesome. Yep. Yeah, there are some days where it's like all the kids, there's something in the water and they're just bouncing off the walls, essentially. I know those days. And they won't listen to anybody when you try to get their attention. And I think it's kind of a sign that it's like they need a day of more interaction. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's sometimes a tall tale sign that they're just feeling more social, and I don't know, you still got to get work done, so. But yeah, I had thought about going for it, and there's just so many things in the school, like school politics and like other parents, and I just don't know if I want to fully deal with that on the daily. So, but I'm still thinking of maybe considering it. I just have to go for another degree. I already have a master's in psych, and a credential in autism, like ABA. So it's hard for me to decide if I want to go back to school for another couple of years to get another credential, despite my degree being the kind of degree that should almost count towards that. And I just have to take a couple courses. So the main issue being that it's 2 more years, not necessarily that I have to get another credential, but 2 years is a lot of time to put into another degree, to do something I have the like 3/4 of the prerequisite for. And schools just don't value ABA yet. They don't know the benefit like they should, so that's where it gets tricky. But that is so awesome that you're doing that. How much longer do you have as a student teacher? Is it just this year? Like, will you have your own class by next year? And what subject are you hoping to teach? I guess I should say subject or age. I know I personally would want to work with, I personally would probably love to work with toddlers, or I don't know, maybe 10 range. Because once they become teenagers, you start dealing with all those problems. Sometimes I don't mind high schoolers either. They can be, pretty troublesome too. So, just depends. I worked with them all. I don't know if I have a preference 100%. So, but I mostly work with autism kids and toddlers right now that don't speak, and that's been a blast. That's a lot of fun for me, working on communication and stuff. Hey, Few Chemicals, what's up, dude? Chemicals, see? Nice, alright. What have you been up to the past couple weeks? I think it's been about that long since I've heard from you. Anything good happening? Alright, sounds good. I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. Okay, so this pencil as small as it is. I won't be able to sharpen it with my sharpener, so it's going in the I have like a little tin or thing I carry around with little pencils, so I always have something to kind of draw with that is compact or color with. Yeah, I could see second and third. It gets a little easier in some ways. I mostly worked with the kids that all had behavioral problems. Anytime I worked in schools, and I would focus on those kiddos, kind of like a para would, um, helping them like stay focused, get back on task, stuff like that, so that teachers could teach. And some of them, if things were too difficult, they didn't want to do the work, so they would get bored and act out. So I knew a lot of redirect methods to work with that, and how to use motivation, motivational rewards and stuff, which can be challenging because some are not motivated by the same things. Like some are motivated by being able to kind of roam the hall briefly, go get a drink of water and stuff like that. And then some abuse that and use that as an avoidance thing. So I try to find things that have built-in rewards, but it's hard. And the second and third graders tend to be just a tiny bit more picky. Whereas in like kindergarten, it's like so easy to know what they want because they'll just tell you. And then you can basically like, hey, I got a Jolly Rancher, and they're like, yes, I'm in, let's go. What work do you got for me? And then they want to get it done as fast as possible. So getting them in the mindset of, the sooner we get our work done, the sooner we can play, huge motivator. And they'll pay like full attention sometimes because they know they got to do it right. So consequence of not paying attention is they got to keep working, and you have to follow through with that. But I imagine you're learning all this in school and stuff, and that's what I've always kind of been curious about. Is that what they're teaching and whatnot in the curriculums? How to, on that aspect anyways. But I've always been kind of curious, like what more would I learn in those environments, because I already have sort of not like a teaching job, but somewhat similar. So I imagine it'd be more curriculum and how to do testing and stuff. But I run assessments, so I know how to do that too. I don't know. I might have to look into it again. But what are your thoughts on everything? Like, for someone like me, would that be worthwhile? Yeah, exactly. I agree. That's with most everything, it seems like these days. I don't think anything's ever going to be 100% perfect for what we imagine and dream and hope for. But I remember always liking my student teachers over the regular teacher. I think it was because they got to be nicer to us and they weren't burnt out yet. I think in some classrooms I've been in, they have 20 to 30 kids at that age, and at the younger age, that is a lot. and they should have two teachers almost, or like two paras in every classroom, just because one teacher can't get around to everybody to help them. You know, not always, anyways. But that's really cool that you're doing that, and I hope we're both still connected in that long run, because I want to hear how things go and all the stories. Kids are the darnest things with crazy imagination sometimes, that just, it makes you appreciate the mind of a child with what they come up with. And when you get older, you kind of get put in a box a little bit and restricted on thinking, or you just become a little more focused on thinking too. There's different ways to look at that, but I think the unrestricted mind, being able to be imaginative and creative, is kind of one of the coolest things about children, in my opinion. Like, I love the stories they come up with, the characters and colorings and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Anywho, sorry, probably talking a little too much on that. You're probably like, move on. So yesterday I complained about, well, didn't really complain, I ranted about my job and just how frustrating it's been lately. And sometimes we just want control of things that we feel we should have control over. And when we don't feel that, we tend to feel alone even though we're not. And it's a frustrating feeling. So that was what I talked about yesterday. And the day before that, I did a very short live stream and just kind of hopped off, because I'm like, you know what, I decided I need a break for myself, just for my sanity, because I have a lot going on with my other job right now. A few different assessments at a time, which is a lot of coordinating back and forth, trying to get the forms done right. It's a mess. Yep. Yeah, I kind of think, you know, there's a general classroom, and sometimes kids need, like, a lot of kids these days seem like they need some more individualized, additional help, some more one-on-one, and they will thrive a lot more in the academic environment. Some are dealing with a lot of things at home, especially here. I'm in the Midwest in the U.S., and when you're in rural areas, I think there's just a lack of socialization that naturally reinforces certain behaviors, certain interactions, and I think that kind of gets overlooked a tiny bit here, and kind of enables anxiety, or allows more freedom to have certain anxieties that you wouldn't have in other situations where you're forced to deal with it. So I'm sure that makes sense. That's just what I kind of observe. So I think some just need more, but we can't pay them. That's our part. Not everyone can get paid for that. And then some schools don't want that many people in there. And I feel like, why wouldn't you? But that's me. It's maybe not a popular thing. I don't know. That's my opinion, though. What I love about this method of creating kind of like ground and texture here is that all my random little mistake lines where I put in a tiny bit too much pressure can become like a different element of terrain. That's one of my I absolutely enjoy that aspect of this. And then I can use other colors to go in and sort of change up the tones a tiny bit and add another element, fill in all the little white speckles as best I can. And some of that's fine. Some of that actually creates like a gravelly texture too, so that's kind of neat. It's adding a lot of really cool elements to this. I'm going to finish up this area today and possibly work on the ash that's falling from the sky on here. There's like little white spots of ash. And then go through and do some highlights, sit on the image for a few days, see if there's anything else I notice that I want to improve, anything that sticks out, and then when I'm good, it's going to the, I guess, I don't know if you call them the printer necessarily, but go get prints made. So, very exciting to get to this point because it's been a mental game for sure. And then we'll be doing, starting next week, probably nothing but sketches for a week. I'll just be drawing a bunch of random ones. I'll try to do at least one a day. It might be a bunch of small ones, might be one big one, I don't know. But kind of want to do a bunch of littler ones, just a bunch of different new ideas. I feel like I'm gaining a lot of knowledge in coloring, but not a lot in sketching, and I want to keep that practice up. Working on a Ditto. I have a Dedenne, I think it's called, or Deden. I think it's called Dedenne. It's kind of like a Pikachu. It's a mouse type Pokemon, and it's the next evolution. That one doesn't evolve, but I came up with an evolution for it, and so I'm going to do that, which I think will look really cool. Go in with some highlights. There's some things I still gotta do to make this all come together. But that's going to very shortly. Oh, so anyways, I was gonna lead into what I know I can teach though is art. So I've had thoughts of starting some art classes for kids and adults, like advanced and whatnot. Teaching some basic skills that I apply in most of my drawings too. Blending and color choice and a little bit of color theory. And I had one experiment I was going to do. I was going to make basically like 2 boxes with random pencils and kind of pick a spot and show that you can use any warm tone, any cool tone color to get a desired effect in realism. And it might look a little different, but it'll still look like your intended image and how cool it can look, stuff like that. So I have some thoughts on that one, but trying to work on getting a decent camera setup for it so I can do that. And how to do some cool textures with things that are very simple, kind of like rocks. You know what I'm doing here. But anyways. Dun, 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 dun. 12:15. Just taking a second to stretch. Oh, and I have to go in and fix some of these highlights so they blend a bit more naturally, because nothing's ever pure white necessarily. Speaking, these areas will be because I have an actual light source, but this is back here in the back. And with that distance, this should be a tiny bit cooler. It's not a lot. I mean, I can do it now. But it's just a tiny bit. I still maintain my contrast everywhere else, so if I need to, I'll go in with a little white pencil and lighten it, but I don't think I'll need to. Oh, and I need to do this one right here, this petal, which should have a bit of a purplish, I think it's mostly black because of this, adds a shadow, but there's a little bit coloration in here too. Nothing's ever, again, like perfect black when you have a black item. It's usually like a dark blue or purple, because it's going to reflect some color in there. And then it needs to be a lot darker. stuff like that. Go and touch up some of that so it looks right. Blend that out. And then switch sides. That's a little purple in here. Just like so. Pretty easy. Adjust the shadows a tiny bit. It's looking so much closer. You ever find a song that just gets you going? This is one of them. I don't know why. For a free song that has no copyrights to it, it's a good song. And don't worry, I'm not saying it's the best out there. I'm just saying it's working right now. Not this part. The breakdown. The chorus of it, I guess. that's giving a pretty cool reflection there, huh? I'm just trying to make the right side look a little more like the left. Although, if I leave it kind of where it's at, the brightness of the claws kind of reflect a little more accurately, like it's a little brighter. So maybe I don't push it too hard. And give it a dual gradient from left to right and then top to bottom. Might be kind of neat too. And then center is a little bit more gradient as well, so I'll focus on the edges here. Being a little darker. Edges and back of the towards the horizon, a little darker. And then I'll go in and refine all the edges and other areas that need just a little bit more saturation. I think that's what I'm going to do. This is a weird song. Not one I've heard yet, so it's not really bugging me. Not yet, anyways. It was almost about to bug me there. I'm glad it changed. other side over here. It's gotta be darker. Her happiness. This one I really like because I like this part right here. It's a fun song. See, it's cool. It's a cool part of the song. Dude, looking dope. I love that ground that's on there. It's looking really cool. Just gotta kind of blend this in a little bit more. Now I'm adding in the shadows from the right claw going this way. So you just gotta remember all your light sources and the fundamentals of these things. And that makes it look a lot more 3D. Makes it pop a little bit more. Who we got? I heard noise. Massive, thank you. And thanks for the follow. I do art and Travis. I appreciate that so much. I don't know if you guys realize it. It's the best way to support me right now. It's so much appreciated. I am getting a chat from somewhere else. Where am I getting it from? I keep hearing it. Weird to be hearing it and not seeing it, so I apologize. Try it once more. Let's see if I don't think I have a chat window open I'm missing. Yeah, so whoever's chatting, I apologize if I'm missing it. It's not showing up on my chat screen here. Try again, and we'll just see if it works or not. But I do appreciate the support. Doesn't go unnoticed. Oh, Void. There we go. It's working now. I know how to capture negative space. Yeah, thank you. This is a lot longer than I should have tackled. It's a literal mind game. But I'm excited. I'm almost done. And it's looking really cool in person. It looks cool on camera now. I'm excited. I'm probably a day away from saying it's done, and then I'll just touch up whatever I notice. I always sit on a drawing, you know, especially when it's a piece I spent a lot of time on for like a few days, and sometimes even a couple weeks before I seal it. in case there's something else I want to do to it or something else that sticks out that I didn't notice before. So, but yeah, hopefully it looks pretty dope. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of tone, kind of like this claw, to the nails, but the brightness works for my reflections and to show a little bit more depth is kind of the goal here. Got a lot of different things to pay attention to, different gradients, different shadows, lighting, stuff like that. So it's all just gonna eventually come together. And some detail of these white, you know, kind of grains that don't get filled in is adding a really nice texture to the ground and stuff. But far away it looks smooth, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I know, it looks cool. I gotta add just some more details and stuff. For the most part, the background is pretty much done, which is really neat. Just gonna keep figuring out what I want to do for tones and if I want to fill in any other kind of whitish spots. Some of this needs to blend up a little bit just to make it look a little better, but I don't want this side to look so awesome and this side to look like somewhat incomplete, like rushed. So there's a little bit more blending I have to do to smooth it out. But I'm glad she likes it. It's a really cool one. Oh yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I'll put in exactly as much time as it needs. That's why I'm always touching up the same areas, explaining that process, like my thought process behind it. I don't ever rush any of my drawings I spend a lot of time on. I've already spent a lot of time on it. It's not one of those where it's like, well, I've spent this much time, it's done. That's not the variable. It's the I don't want it to look like I spent less time in one area than the other. I want it to look like one cohesive piece. So that's what I'm always looking at. You know, does this look smooth and glossed over enough? Does it have the right texture? Stuff like that. So, and yeah, I think I would really like to make this into a card or something. Would look really cool. Especially. Get a card made. Yeah, it'd be really cool to do a handmade card too. See how realistic I can get it on a small scale. That'd be interesting. But yeah, I have a thing to make cards too. I do graphic design, so I do know how to like superimpose things and get all designed. It's just getting it made by hand that might be a little trickier. Do you have a place that prints it and will make it like look like a legit card? So if you had it in your deck, it's not like obvious it's a different card, but also it wouldn't be used, you know, for evil purposes of, you know, becoming where it's infringing on things, like in the world, in the world. Oh, cool. That's pretty neat. Yeah, we'll have to connect on that. That'd be fun to get this in that kind of format. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, nice. The Festival of Colors is coming up. Cool. Yeah, eventually I want to get into some of these festivals and kind of do some art stuff. And I wanted to do more live portraits and things. Just haven't quite figured out how to go about that. I need to practice at my live portraits. I'm not superior by any means. So lizards, but that's something I would like to do. It's coming together. And looking cooler and cooler. Every time I do something. Hello? What? I what? I have a phone call? Oh.
I didn't answer it.
I didn't know my phone was on there. Okay, guys, I'm getting called away again. But where are we at? Does it look good? I mean, we're almost essentially done with this. Pretty exciting. So, I am going to head off for now. Pinky, hello. Thanks for joining. I apologize you're catching me at the end here. But I will be back on hopefully tomorrow finishing this piece. It's just details from here. And seeing what else I want to add to make it more complete. So